Am I audible?
You are audible, you are visible, your slide is also visible. Very good. So you are group 10.
Yes, sir.
Naveen, please talk about special hybrid vehicles. This is more mainly application oriented. So give us a very good presentation of that. Group C10. Please start.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sorry, sir. Good afternoon.
It's okay.
Um, me, Naveen, and Vishwaradya will be discussing about the special hybrid vehicles. We'll see according to the propulsion point of view. Uh, the outline of the presentation is like why do we consider hybrid or electric technology, comparison of energy and power demands in different systems, NASA's Helios prototype solar aircraft, a hybrid electric solar aircraft by Flaxair, and then Vishwaradya will be continuing with locomotives, diesel electric locomotive, other industrial utility application vehicles, and like where do these vehicles appear with the scope of HEVs. Uh, as from the propulsion point of view, it may be instructive to consider an aircraft propulsion system. Uh, whether hybrid propulsion can be feasible or no. Mm. Why do we consider a hybrid or electric technology? These are the main 7 things, fundamentals, where the technology must consider a hybrid or electric: fuel economy, environmental friendliness, size and cost, reliability, weight of mechanical transmission system in certain off-road applications, including locomotives, and the drive cycle of a vehicle. The drive cycle of a ground vehicle is dependent on the off-trade of between these 7 items. The drive cycle of ground vehicle can fluctuate according to the highways and the village roads. Uh, Water vehicles, particularly ocean-going ships and aircrafts, do not have fluctuating drive. Uh, Now let us see the comparison of energy and power demands in different systems. So the table is it is visible so clearly.
Yeah, table is visible clearly.
Yes, sir. Like let us go to the sixth row, power and passenger. Comparatively, the power of bicycle is very less as compared to the other compared to the person on foot. And then here in the Boeing 747, the power passenger 140, it has the largest power of 140 kilowatts. And as we go to the last row, that is energy per passenger per kilometer. The ship has a very large energy, like about 2,800 kilojoules. And the lowest, it has about the lowest one is bicycle. It has about 14.4 kilojoules. And this, as we go to the second row, coursing speed. This is a speed like with respect to time, how much the vehicle has been traveled. And then these are all respect. And then weight, coursing speed, maximum power. These are respective with the size and size and shape of the vehicles. And then now let us see like how the NASA's Helios prototype solar aircraft is. This aircraft is called Helios prototype. This has been developed by NASA in the United States. It weighs about 725 kgs and has a wingspan of 75.3 meters. The wing area is almost like 1,976 square feet. The upper slide of the wing here, this carries a solar panels. These are very thin and like sheet of a paper, so that it must lightweight. It captures this side of captures the energy, the solar ray energy, and converts into electrical energy, which the batteries are stored, which located at the at below the wing of the airplane. The solar power is fed into backup lithium sulfur batteries, so that the aircraft can fly in the absence of daylight. This is It has not been manned. It is just unmanned aircraft. And we shall discuss like another aircraft. This is a hybrid electric solar aircraft, Flax Air. This aircraft is hybrid. It consists of a tilt rotor. It uses 100 HP combustion engine and a solar array to store energy, and has an electric motor rated at 240 HP peak power. Compared to other helicopters, this uses like almost 17 times less fuel. Actually, it's claimed to be 10 liters per hour of flight. This is substantially lower than a regular helicopter. The size of such electric and hybrid aircrafts are limited in size. The issue is in essence due to limitations of the energy storage mechanism and the extremely high power needed by the large commercial aircraft during takeoff. As compared to the ships and aircrafts, the ship is more reliable for the hybrid electric vehicles because there is a lot more space for both battery and putting the batteries and even for the human space. As compared to aircraft, there is less space available. The next locomotives will be continued by Vishwarath.
Okay, a good presentation from you, Naveen.
Thank you, sir.
So next, Vishwaradha, please conclude it with the diesel locomotive part. So this, which is also a very important part of application of these vehicles, vehicular technology. So Naveen, please turn off your video, and
Yes, sir.
Vishwaradha, please start explaining.
1 second.
Yes. Audio, Vishwaradha, start your audio. I think your audio is muted.
Sorry, sir, sorry.
Yeah, so start from the first, start from locomotive. Yeah, start it.
Okay, here we have another special hybrid vehicle, that is locomotive. Locomotive have been evolved for more than 200 years. In 80s, 800s. Sorry, in 80s there was a steam engines which had having a which was introduced having horsepower ranging from 3000 to 6000 based on the application and advantages of the vehicle. Then there was a introduction of the diesel vehicle.
Naveen, mute your audio.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please continue.
There were introduction of the diesel engine which replaced steam engines during mid 20th century. These were very efficient and easy to maintain. And later in 1894, Mr. Kalman Kando, the Hungarian engineer, developed purely electrical locomotive, uh, which was using three phase induction motor. However, this locomotive required electrification of the track, so it was very difficult in the long run distance. So then introduction of the gas turbine locomotive, where the gas turbine used to run a electrical generator, and that electricity was to drive propulsion motor. The gas turbine engine had very high power density but less efficient, and was uneconomically based on fuel consumption. So this all reasons made more locomotive now to use diesel engines, but propulsion system is implemented through an electric motor. As a result, there are many advantages of diesel electric engine. Firstly, if the propulsion was purely mechanical, it would need to be produced large and unnecessary torque in the wheel. Second, particularly in short haul uh, trains, which frequently changes speed and have many gears. This resulted in the f- less fuel con- more fuel consumption. For these two reasons, there were also introduction of diesel electrical engine, and to remove these both issues, diesel engine can run and the generator is run to produce electricity, which used to run traction motor to drive the wheels. With the advantages of this power electronics, the diesel engine is very easy to realize and efficient. And the traction motor, which can be induction motor or a synchronous motor, either a permanent magnetic or a field excited. Here we can see the engine in the figure 3. It's a diesel engine having a horsepower 4000, but the power at the wheel is only 3500 horsepower. It has six motor, use three at the front, three at the back. The motor are four pole squirrel cage, the three phase induction motor. The maximum speed of this train is 3220 rpm. The induction motor have a maximum voltage of 2030 volt with 433 kilovolt power, kilowatt power. It has 18 is to 16 gear ratio between the wheel and motor. Next slide. Here we come with the other industrial utility application vehicle. These are the industrial utility vehicles such as golf craft and airport tugs and internally transport vehicles used in airport, and even off-road vehicles like JCBs. Sorry, uh, off-road vehicles like mining vehicles and even heavy vehicles used in factories and heavy trucks for the goods. These all are off-road vehicles, and the gas used in these vehicles is mainly propane, and other gas we can use other gases like other gases which is liquefied. This is fuel for the ICs to control the exhaust and released by this vehicle, and these are mainly electrical vehicles, so there is no more air pollution, but we have to control noise pollution produced by these off-road vehicles. Next slide. Where do these vehicles appear within the scope of HEV? As I said earlier, the main motive of HEVs is fuel economy, and even one of the important character or the role is of the vehicles is to maintain size reduction of the gearbox, which directly affect the economy of the vehicle. So size reduction of the gearbox is very important. And we have plug-in vehicles. Basically, these vehicles are indoor vehicles. These are very portable, like vehicles. We can use the battery, charge the battery wherever we can, wherever available, and any time, because everywhere there is a availability of electricity, so we can use these vehicles in the indoor vehicles. So therefore the propulsion HEV are not much attractive for the industrial utility, that are apart within sorry that are operate within confined space on the short drives. Thank you.
Yeah, so that was a good presentation on locomotive as well. So your group, Vishwaradha and Naveen, you have talked about the application part of the electric locomotive vehicles and all. So it was a good work. I now request next group C11, that is Sumant and Abhishek. Abhishek is from division A, Sumant is from division C. So you
Thank you,
two
sir.
please present your work. Naveen and Vishwaradha, good presentation. Very good. So you can stop presenting.
Thank you, sir.